What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Ark Quant Crypto Podcast. Seems to be a working title these days because we're dabbling in so many different things. Isn't that right, Mike?
Correct.
Anyways, this is where we like to take you guys on a little journey with us. And we put a lot of this amazing stuff happening in the world, the crypto world, just the trading world in general. We don't care about the market. We care about profits. And we like to analyze and put it in layman's terms for me, but also for you, where we take high-level people such as these gentlemen here, and we try to dissect what they're saying and make it make sense for everybody at home. We got a special guest here. Please introduce yourself.
All right. Yeah, I am Antonio from BlockQuake from New York City, down here for a lot of the crypto stuff happening, futures conference that just happened, and a bunch of the investor summits we all attended and met at together.
Yeah.
And
Pretty interesting world that you're in with BlockQuake. You're starting up a brand new crypto exchange, pretty cutting edge. Got some competitive edge to it. Corner in the market. Give us a little bit of actually, before we get into that, tell us a little bit about you. Where do you come from? Some of the successes. You're a very high level individual.
Yeah. So prior to my life in crypto, I actually worked in financial services for 15 years, as well as most of my team. Your top banks and insurance companies, right? Like AIG, JP Morgan Chase, New York Life, Citibank, Morgan Stanley, Barclays, Goldman, etc.
Wow.
And
cybersecurity for those guys, basically?
Yeah, for a lot of our team, cybersecurity, technology audit, operational audit, regulatory work, fraud investigations. We've touched it at a national and international level. So, I've had to learn regulations in the U.S. and other countries. The cybersecurity and fraud investigations were definitely fun. I've worked on some stuff I can't talk about here, but yeah.
Got it. Understood. Now let's talk about it. Which thing?
So literally, we're all in the crypto space, right? The top two risks.
How did you end up in crypto?
Oh, okay. I guess.
And how long ago?
Okay, so first, the top two risks in crypto is regulatory, is cybersecurity. So that's why I point out, that is our team's wheelhouse.
Right.
Whereas most players in the crypto space, particularly crypto exchange space, they don't come from any of those backgrounds.
Wow.
Which is really necessary.
Scary.
Yeah. And then to your question, how I got into crypto. So my last role when I was in financial services was within the technology audit department. So just naturally, a lot of folks around me were trading crypto, and then folks kept bringing it up. So I'm like, all right, let me start playing around with this too. So myself and some of my current co-founders, we were trading crypto, but we're all from traditional financial markets. So we traded stocks, options, forex, commodities, etc. So we were accustomed to much more mature trading experiences. So when we started touching crypto, this was 2016 when I first jumped in.
Early adopter.
Yeah, so 2016, and then unfortunately for the industry, the same problems exist. Fortunately for our business model, the same problems exist. You had crypto exchanges getting hacked. You didn't know who owned the platform. They disappear overnight with your money. There was no liquidity, fragmented liquidity, and we still have all those same problems today. And this specific instance was New Year's Eve weekend. I'm with one of the co-founders. We're drinking whiskey. I'm the auditor, right? So I'm cautious. He loves taking risks. So he's trading some shit coin on a platform. I think it was a marijuana coin or something. Threw $1,000 into it. I'm screaming at him, don't do it. And then it shoots up 10,000%. He's trying to exit. Platform crashes.
Whoa.
And then never comes up again. And I'm not even thinking consciously. And I just say to him, this is bullshit. We should just start our own exchange. And then we just kind of stopped and looked at each other. Light bulb went off.
How long ago was that?
This was right pre-COVID. So from a capital raise perspective, not the best timing. But you hang tough long enough, the timing works itself out.
That's right.
Yeah.
Pressure. You have to put
Makes
pressure.
it dime. You got to go through it.
Yeah, but that's what happened. And then then we talked about it after the light bulb went off, and we're okay, we either know what to do, or we know the right people that know what to do, and we're okay, let's go down this road. Ideation phase.
What was the problem? I actually hear about that stuff happening a lot. Was it the exchange, or is it the coin itself not having enough liquidity to?
Both. So the issue is you had people crypto exchanges are financial services, right? Like and pretty standard now globally. Everyone recognizes it as such, and you had people building out financial services products and trying to like do different things in that space, and but they didn't know, right? So like on liquidity, folks are just launching coins as fragmented liquidity, but they weren't thinking about like we need to aggregate these pools of liquidity globally and have the right checks and balances in place so that trades can execute smoothly. Like folks weren't thinking about that in the early days, but because that wasn't their background.
Let me ask you about the big elephant in the room, because at the end of the day, like you are, for me, an early adopter. You came in 2016, for me that's early.
Yeah.
We come from the same background. I'm institutional, you're institutional.
Yeah.
I'm very late adopter. I came in 2022.
Yeah.
I got burned by all that fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
FTX, I got it. Luna, UST, I got it. Celsius, I got it. I got burned by all of it.
Yeah.
When I came in 2022, I thought I'm a late adopter. I thought I'm entering into the mature industry. I thought the private equities, the VCs, whoever trusted billions and billions of dollars to, I forgot his name, the Celsius owner, who was all over CNBC, Fox, and everywhere. Whoever trusted money to FTX with 20 or 30. The good guy, decent guy. I hear him. I got into crypto because of two things. The war that started in Russia, and there was no, I finally got a use case.
Yeah.
Because before I didn't understood. I was fine with the dollar.
Yeah.
But when dollar cut me off and I had no other way to get money out of my country, I was forced into crypto.
Yeah.
And when I saw 20% on USDT, on UST, and that's what Luna was offering at the time, I thought I missed out big.
You touched Luna?
Yes, of course I touched it. I touched it all the way.
Yeah.
And Celsius was paying a great interest rate.
Yeah.
For me as a banker, anything above 5% on dollar is amazing. And I thought people with 20 billions of dollars under management did the due diligence.
The inputs are too high, right here.
And, you know,
how do I? My question is
from a personal perspective, I'm sorry you have to like go through that. I'm from New York City. I have a lot of Russian friends, right? I thought that was like, what do we do? Why are Russian civilians being penalized for like the bullshit at a government level? But yeah, that's a whole separate conversation. But yeah, I mean, I guess you're thankful that you got into the crypto space.
I'm very thankful. I'm very happy. But after the things that happened on 10th of October, how do I sell to my friends and family, to my partners, how do I explain to them that this is a mature industry with no manipulation? After we experience manipulations like that.
Unfortunately.
And whose fault it is, and how you, as a market participant, your system, how, like, I want to understand how we could explain it and how we could hedge against it.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, the space is not mature. We will be a mature company when our exchange launches, but unfortunately, we still lack a lot of transparency, even amongst publicly traded companies. Right? There's a handful of crypto exchanges.
Can Coinbase do that?
What
Binance did on 10th of October?
They
under the American regulation.
Okay, so Coinbase, they're not. So they wouldn't, because they're not running like derivatives trading. They're not doing perps and stuff like that. So like Binance, Bybit, etc. It was all the offshore platforms, right?
Kraken doesn't do either. No, not all.
Kraken has, I think, offshore derivatives trading.
Okay.
But I think because like their executives are here in the U.S., you know, they can be held accountable.
Can I do? I don't know. I haven't done it on Coinbase, but can I do margin on Coinbase?
I am not aware.
Because I know that some of my people got liquidated on the margin calls. Like they weren't trading derivatives.
But were they on Coinbase?
No, not on Bybit.
Yeah, I mean, definitely as an American, I haven't been exposed to anything margin related with Coinbase. But yeah, it's all the stuff we saw on the news with the forced liquidations that were straight up manipulation. Like it was all the offshore platforms, right? I think Bybit, KuCoin, Binance, etc. They were OKX. All of them were in the news. So like from that.
But if I understand correctly, you plan to launch a derivative platform in the United States, if not on the
At some
first
point,
phase.
yeah. So there's probably like I would break
So
the
there is
derivatives.
legislation. There is like you allowed like,
So the U.S. has framework for launching it,
or you
like
need a
futures.
Clarity Act.
So we don't need the Clarity Act. The Clarity Act more gives directions to the regulators on like who divvying up who's responsible for what, which we want, right? Like we want that to be crystal clear. But with derivatives, like we have Bitcoin futures and stuff like that in the U.S. already. So we will launch, after the exchange is launched, a couple of other products are launched. We'll launch a derivatives platform outside of the U.S. where we're allowed to mainly to actually show like, hey, our controls are working. So then when we come back to the U.S. and other jurisdictions, like, hey, we're showing our controls are working, and now it's a matter of like paperwork, capital reserve requirements to get the rest of that through. I've spoken to regulators at all different levels of the U.S. government, and their ideal situation is that you've essentially, in their mind, launched Sandbox, so essentially elsewhere, and showing that your internal controls are working. So that we know they want to see that. So, for the derivatives stuff, anything margin related, that will be launched overseas. But I think transparency plays a big role here. So even with the top publicly traded crypto exchanges, still to this day, let's say you as a customer of Coinbase or Bullish or Gemini or whoever that's publicly traded, or any top exchange that's considered trustworthy. Let's say they say we have 1 million Bitcoins on our platform for all of our customers. They're not actually proving that they have 1 million Bitcoins. They're just saying so.
How do you verify?
Yeah, because they're doing proof of reserve. Some of them are doing proof of reserve, but like I know like audit partners at all the top audit firms, and like we talk all the time that like proof of reserves is bullshit because all you're saying is we have these assets collectively, but you're not actually showing ownership one-to-one of each crypto asset class, and having someone come in and audit that. Because there's legal ownership concerns too, right? Like you might see a wallet
Which
movement.
act is going to give us clarity on that? Is the Clarity Act is going to regulate it or not at all?
None of the regulations that are currently in the pipeline are requiring that. We're not waiting for that. So we've had these conversations with like a number of the top 10 audit firms globally where when we launch the crypto exchange, we're actually going to just be proactive about it. Be like, hey, we want you to come in and audit all of our statements. If we say we've got 1 billion XRP for customers on our platform, you're going to come in and check that, whether it's quarterly or monthly, come in and check it that like, hey, you actually see
Can
it
you
there.
do it more frequently?
Probably we want to do it monthly. And we can automate that. So like for my audit background, what
That's
I'm used
exactly
to.
what I was leading to.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like for my audit background, internal
Because
audit.
we're in the blockchain.
Yeah.
We want full transparency.
Yeah,
Full
so
transparency.
there's this concept called continuous monitoring. So you just automate stuff with the audit firm where like they have read access, directly into your golden source data.
API.
Yeah, API. So they don't need to keep coming to us. They could just run their test without us getting involved and come back and like at a point in time be like, okay, you're reporting 1 billion XRP on the books for all your customers. We check, you have 1 billion XRP on the books, and they do that for every crypto that we have on the platform. And then we're also proving legal ownership. So like they'd come in and do testing that, we actually really have control of the wallet. None of that stuff's happening.
Why do you think the big boys don't do it?
I can say I know why, because I've spoken to insiders. I'm not going to call out any exchanges, but a number of the exchanges are taking our customer funds and they are trading it as if it's their own. They're speculating, right? Stealing, yeah. Yeah. So they're speculating with customer funds and they've lost a lot over the years. So like they might be down 15, 20% customer funds, but because they have so much funds on the books, you'll see some of these really big exchanges. You'll hear, somebody, they had withdrawal request of $2 billion in a day and they fulfilled it, but it's because they had enough on the books they could take the hit. But if that keeps happening, it'll be a bank run for them.
Sorry to put you on the spot because, like, I mean, the bank runs is probably the biggest thing that I experienced in crypto so far, because pretty much I believe FTX was a bank run and Celsius was a bank run and Luna UST at the end of the day. They were all pretty much the bank runs.
Yeah, well, functionally, I mean, FTX is just a fraud as well.
You think so?
Yeah.
I mean, they did lose some of the clients' money, but at the end of the day, they
recovered.
they
That was good for the
recovered all
customer.
of
They
it.
recovered a lot of it. But yeah, to your point is that they bet.
Why you choose to go into centralized exchange? Like when you made your decision, when you and your friend experienced that problem, why your choice was in terms of centralization, where the bank runs happen and may appear, and where you get control and custody of the money and all this type of things could happen, and you pretty much need to be run like a bank with a very strict procedures, with a very strict measures, instead of decentralized, which is more natural for crypto, where many of those issues are non-existent. Like, what was your
you know, I definitely want to see decentralized finance grow, but for that to grow, like we need safer, more robust paths for people to get into the crypto markets, right? Everyone comes in with their fiat via a centralized platform, and right now they don't trust the centralized space. So, you know, we want to bring trust to that space and like be that solution where one, you know, your money's safe with us. We're gonna, you know, be a custodian legally and have all the checks and balances and the cyber stuff in place. The audit's done. That's not required. We're just gonna go ahead and do it. That's gonna build trust, right? Which is gonna get more market participants in. It's the first touch point, right? The first time we all traded crypto, we used our fiat. We came in via some type of centralized platform, and that's how we touched the market first. I think the crypto markets represent maybe 2-3% of the global market.
Yeah,
like this
still early adopters.
Yeah, there's so much growth left, and if we can solve that problem, we're definitely here to make money, right, as a business.
Yeah.
And of course, within the centralized exchanges, that's where most of the money's made. So definitely, like from a business decision perspective, especially the fact that we have investors out there, like.
And with BlockQuake, are you guys going decentralized or are you guys going centralized exchange?
We're so first centralized exchange. We do want to launch our own decentralized platform as well, but we want to take care of this entry point problem first. We want to make it easier and easier for people to get in and out of crypto, because that's how we get more people into DeFi as well.
Well, that's right. So with that being said, if you had to, because I mean, there may be accredited investors watching. I know you guys are looking to raise. You guys have a capital raise. You guys have raised about $2.5 million so far.
Yeah.
You're looking to raise $10 million to launch the platform. You guys have got some really good systems and people behind you so far. Yeah. Just like Dr. Urenson here, who is a qualified investor as well. So just pretend you're talking to, which you are, talking to investors. What are 3 pillars right now that you feel like separates BlockQuake from every other exchange on the market? And how are you guys competitive?
Yeah, so cybersecurity, number one. We are actually going to pursue every ISO and SOC related certification relevant to the space. Nobody else has that. It'll be done by a top 10 audit firm. So we will be able to actually make statements, hey, we're the most secure centralized crypto exchange out there, and back it up. Right, that's number one. Transparency, we just discussed, where like if we say we have your crypto, we're going to prove that we have your crypto. Number 3 is the compliance aspect. This one's always like harder to explain to folks because it's longer term. For any of us that have lived through markets, the compliance always comes. So if you have that in order, you're not in danger of being shut down by the government, right? We have seen crypto exchanges be shut down by governments, and they disappeared with customer funds, right? Like we've seen that happen. So those would be like the 3 things that would have us stand out from everyone else in the marketplace, because whatever everyone likes about the other exchanges they might use, we're going to have that, right? We're working with the top liquidity providers. So day one, when we launch, we're going to have matched liquidity. If you can come to us on day one and trade $10 million, $100 million, $1,000. Like the order will get executed.
Got it.
Because we're working with the top LPs.
So for the future of the crypto universe, Where's your guys' position at, and how are you guys helping to drive
Oh, I
that
love
mission
question.
forward?
I love that question because I felt like it was talked about so much these last couple of days. Um, there is, we're getting into tokenized RWAs now, tokenized real world assets. So that's like tokenizing
Real
ownership
estate.
of real estate, gold,
That's very interesting, honestly. It's really
private companies. Like you're talking about like these spaces that are very illiquid that are
Like what Robinhood did,
Yeah.
for example, with OpenAI and SpaceX.
Yeah. There's like trillions, hundreds of trillions of dollars with all these different areas where it's insanely illiquid, and we can create liquid markets for it. So I know we didn't talk about it, but like part of our roadmap is to be a broker dealer with our ATS exemption, so that we can actually
cool. Define
list these
ATS.
things.
What's ATS? I don't know what that is.
Alternative trading system.
Okay.
So, are you familiar with like the OTC markets for trading stocks, like penny stocks?
Very, very briefly. The
OTC.
over-the-counter
Over-the-counter,
stock
yeah.
shit. Yeah,
Yeah.
Robinhood. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So you've got very few folks that have the ATS with their broker dealer license, where essentially they can list anything that is considered a security in the U.S. Right? Then every country has their different rules. U.S. is probably the most stringent, but once you have that, you can then list the tokenized real estate, the tokenized shares of private companies, these things that would be considered securities, and then you can create much better liquidity because now you have a global population trading fractional ownership. I just came back from Dubai a couple of weeks ago. Was home in New York for 2 weeks and came down here, and that's the talk
To
of the
spend
town.
2 weeks in Miami.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it was like
You don't spend in New York too much time.
yeah, it feels like that this year. Yeah, but
You
tokenized
have-
real estate.
Miami is the new place.
We're the
Yeah.
new. Yeah, we're
I
gonna
guess
be
I'll
the
be
new-
back in 2 weeks too, right?
Sure.
It's
But
easier
yeah,
to move here.
yeah, it's I feel like a lot of New Yorkers are back and forth all the time. There's a joke, right? The more south you go, it feels like the more north you go because of all the snowbirds.
Right.
But yeah, tokenized real estate. When I was in Dubai, that's what they talk about because they're building these massive buildings and stuff where they need to raise significant capital, and it's difficult to go find like one funder to like back the whole project. But if they can tokenize the actual capital raise for the building, they can raise that money so much faster, and they could even potentially raise that at a premium as well, and like get it filled out quickly so they can build faster. So that's where like I see a lot of this stuff going. Like we're gonna see a lot of we had the ICOs, initial coin offerings back in the day. We're seeing a revolution of that where you're gonna have regulated tokenized offerings to raise money to actually build things and have it attached to real ownership. So like this is all healthy for the marketplace because we still have the masses where like, oh, crypto's a scam, right? Like they still see it that way, but when they see it attached to things that they understand, that's when they're gonna be like, oh, I get it now.
Okay, that makes sense. Someplace I wanted to go where the conversation was a little bit of for someone that's kind of new into the crypto game and the crypto exchange. I know we talked about the 3 pillars, right? How are you guys gonna make it easy or easier for people? Because obviously most of the world isn't, adept to crypto yet.
Yeah.
How would you guys make it easier for someone new who has nothing, who some retail investor that doesn't know anything about it, and bring it back? Because the point of crypto, right, is power back to the people, decentralization. I know it's a centralized exchange at first, but from a decentralized, standpoint, and the reason why most people are really adopting the crypto, giving the power back to the people. How are you guys keeping those retail investors in mind?
Yeah, so education. I know, like we touched on that this privately when we were talking.
Yeah.
Aside from launching the product, I think stuff like this that we're doing, podcasting, speaking about this stuff.
And you're the face of the organization, yeah?
I am, yes. Oh, yeah, we didn't actually go into that.
Yeah.
I am the main co-founder of BlockQuake and the CEO of the company. Yeah.
Got it.
And we're going to be, I know offline we talked about the AI crypto sentiment indicator tool that we're building that'll help people make smarter trading decisions. I see.
Yeah, we had a question about that
Oh, yeah.
internally too. What does that look like? You guys are just providing
Sure.
signals. What are you guys giving advice on quants?
Yeah, so I'll jump into that.
Dr.
And,
Urensen?
and it connects to the education piece. So with if you guys have traded Forex before, I've traded a lot of Forex. So within the Forex world, they've literally got these sentiment indicators for all the major trading pairs where they visualize it. It's not just positive, negative. It's also like they apply scoring, like, 90% positive or minus 80% negative, and like really visualize it per the top Forex currency trading pairs. We want to do that for each of the top 50 to 100 cryptos. This is non-existent in the space, so it's literally going to be pulling the news, Reddit, social media, all the stuff that's happening for the top cryptos, and then for each one for the last 24 hours real time showing what that looks like. So this is important for an active trader, right? Like a lot of the guys in your world that where they're in and out all the time.
Why only sentiment indicator, though? Why you're not going in more deeper into the
So
strategies?
we wanted to do the sentiment because like there is like technical analysis that's pretty robust out there. I see like the like essentially the social media or news sentiment as a leading indicator where like that we're seeing that stuff come through before the price action, right? So institutions may have access to some tools. So we wanted to really build something that can be used by both, but like the retail crowd definitely doesn't have access to any of this stuff. So this will help those that are, trading futures or perps in the crypto markets make smarter decisions. If you're a contrarian trader, particularly. And then this connects to your earlier question. We actually are planning to have this linked into a broader market research arm of BlockQuake, where we're providing education and other tools and news and information on about the crypto market. So we have some partners that have a lot of sophisticated retail users where we're gonna co-brand with them and actually just have this be like a just full-on educational suite.
So from what I hear, you guys are envisioning yourself as much bigger than just a regular exchange. Like, first of all, you're extremely transparent for all the institutional clients, and then you're going to provide a bunch of additional services on top of it, like more related to wealth management and like multiplication and smart management of money. So basically, that's the unique competitive advantage that you plan to introduce to the market.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought that up because we keep saying to folks like we're looking to be the Amazon of crypto in that we're looking to build
Ambitious.
out. Yeah, that's it. Like we're building a global ecosystem of fintech companies that just feed each other, right? The way Amazon has been able to do that was the vision from day one. Very difficult to explain to investors when they want 2 minutes or less, right?
Right.
So we often just focus on talking about the exchange,
Right.
but there's so much more. So I'm glad you guys are bringing that up.
So you guys are gonna offer management of money, or are you guys gonna point in the right direction for management?
We're gonna do that too. So we're gonna build out our own funds, Bitcoin, maybe just overall crypto
like
funds.
ETFs.
Similar to ETFs, but it won't be publicly listed like an ETF. Initially,
Privately
it'll be privately managed
amongst different.
Yeah, it'll be a
assets.
combination of traders and AI trading bots involved, and it'll take institutional money at first. But I got into this space for the regular everyday person, so the intention is to take those funds when we create them and also get full registration so retail can jump in as well.
How far along are you guys in the accumulation of those avenues in which you're going to be trading the money, like the algorithms and quants you're using and the certified manual traders?
So with the Bitcoin AI bot that we discussed earlier, that's ready, and it's really just regulatory wrappers and making sure that's all good. So
that's your own bot, or that's like a
it's a project one of our co-founders worked on. So we have a relationship or an agreement with them where they'll the performance fee that's taken there, that'll be split, right?
We will be
Dr.
very
Jensen.
happy to be one of the
Yeah,
first
oh, yeah,
one to
yeah.
test
To
it
test
live
it out,
whenever
yeah.
you launch it.
Yeah, and
But
we are
also-
That's what we do
we're
for
gonna do
life.
That's what we do.
program.
Yeah. So on the other side of it is if you're
And
looking
if
for if-
you pass our test, which is very simple, 3 months of live performance.
Yeah.
We expect anywhere from 3 to 5% a month.
Yeah.
If you pass that test, then we put all our network and all our friends and family
start to
offices
represent
and
and put you guys
everything.
Yeah.
We sign you up.
So-
with it,
so
like,
on
with
the
no
flip side-
fees, with nothing.
on the
Like,
flip
completely.
side of what we do, it's I think it'd be interesting if you guys are offering that. We could be one of your partners on that because we spend all of our time, specifically Dr. Urinsson and some of our other due diligence partners, who have over 45 plus years of managing these kinds of quants and have had hundreds of billions of dollars under management with their technologies and their systems. We take a lot of different quants and strategies, bots, through our due diligence, and once it passes, it becomes in our house. So maybe there's potential business for us to be partners on the back end of that side of managing the institutional funds.
Yeah, and the thought process. So, like, I've talked in depth with my other co-founder that worked with the other project to develop this bot. The thought process was, they know a lot of folks that have money, right? And once you have a certain amount of funds, you're now thinking about preservation of capital, right? So yes, you want to make money, but you want to preserve your capital first and foremost. So they wanted to build a bot that was conservative in its trading. It only takes long strategies, right? Only long trades on Bitcoin. And it's actually, they've tested it in down markets. So that's why they've been doing 80 to 100% returns annually, which to people not in crypto, that's insane,
incredible,
right?
yeah.
But people
in crypto, that's conservative for that world.
yes, yeah, because retail traders, they want 10,000% returns on a bot,
That's
and
not-
but
no, that's
it's
not
insane
safe,
high
though.
risk, yeah.
Digen.
Yeah.
Digen
Well,
to
for
say
us,
the least.
for us,
the
we're,
DJ, yeah.
we're bridging the gap
Yeah.
from institutional to the new world,
Yeah.
to new money, old
I mean,
money and
that's
new money.
what like you mentioned it in the beginning of the conversation, but we have kind of the same mission. I came from the same world with you. I was surprised with what I saw, and now I'm bridging that gap.
Yep.
I'm bridging the gap between Digen retailers who want 100x, and I'm trying to educate them and explain to them that 100x comes with tremendous level of risk.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you can make 100x. I'm not saying you cannot make 10x. But I'm not aiming for that because I understand as an institutional investor, as a quant, as a data scientist, what you said off the mic, I'm not able, with all my background and education, I'm not able to claim that I didn't know.
Yeah.
That 100x comes with extra risk.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's why I'm not bringing my people. I'm not bringing my community. I'm not bringing his community. I'm not bringing anyone's community into 100x opportunities. Because 100x opportunities, they come with 100x risk.
Oh yeah, yeah.
100x risk, yeah.
A lot of
And
the
so that's
people,
for us. We're looking to
Preservation
bridge
is
that gap.
important for everyone.
by using
Preservation
these-
is not only important for
For
rich.
just it's important
Preservation
for
is
everyone.
more important for poor because rich could afford to lose $1 million and
Poor
still
cannot.
be able to feed their kids, to secure their house, roofs, and everything.
Yeah,
But
and we
if
all
the
meet people-
person, if a retail trader with $50,000 or $30,000 or $10,000
Yeah, we're in it for the long run.
Yes,
go
yeah.
and all in and lose it all,
It's over
that's
with.
much better.
We're
Worse
looking
for
to
that
be the
person.
platform where people can look and expect like 50-60% a year for 10 years.
Yeah,
that's where we want to be for
Yeah,
us. We're
that
the
And if we
compounds,
could
yeah,
do
it
it, we will
compounds.
be the leading money managers in the world.
That's right.
Yeah, right now, like
Period.
it's
It's
great.
about consistency.
It's
That's
a great
right.
point, because even to the retail crowds, right? Like they're lucky if they're getting 5% annually. So if they can safely double their money annually, I'm like, yeah, we want to be able to provide that to them.
Dream. It's a dream. It's an investment dream.
Yeah,
And
it's,
it is doable, but it's only doable if you mix crypto in your portfolio. Like that's the only instrument that could add that potential.
yeah. I tell
You
everyone.
can't do it with bonds. You can't do it with stocks. You can't do it with 60-40 allocation. You can't do it with buy and hold
Yeah,
strategy.
yeah.
You have to be more actively trading.
Absolutely, yeah. And to your guys' points, it's on us. We're testing everything, right? The three of us, everyone in our network. We're asking all the right questions for people that bring services right to us. What risk management, different controls that are in place, so that when we do introduce it to the retail crowd, like we've been through the grinder with it.
I really want to introduce you to one of our partners. We're actually going to have a call with him at 9 o'clock tonight. Robert Kendall, he been in that business for 45 years, and he actually was like ahead of time. He built a system, which is very interesting system, which could be very interestingly integrated into the exchange like yours, like smart, intelligent trading, like portfolio allocation, like smart system which allows you to backtest, to build strategies, to rebuild them, to optimize them, because I mean, in the modern world, 70 to 80% of the institutional trading is done automatically, completely automated, while poor retail traders still have to
manual.
do
With
it
their
manually.
emotions.
And that's why I think we could
Well, this is why I love AI
combine
and
a lot.
automation. Like, once we find products that work, it's beautiful because like it takes the emotions out of it.
Yeah, but it constantly needs to be updated, though.
Yes.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
And that's why we want to build that community. That's what I brought to Ziki, basically, to build that community and to bring that all that stuff basically through the platform and the automations, like your exchange that you're developing and other exchanges that are willing to collaborate with us. And like we've been in talks with Robinhood, we've been in talks with several big players, but leaderboards. eToro is a great solution, but it doesn't provide investment committee. We here, we meet every week. We meet every week to identify those opportunities. We launch real capital. We backtest them first, and only then we bring it to community.
Exactly.
And I'm glad you brought up the things need to be updated, because literally the other day I had someone ask me like.
Well, that's why we have Dr. Urenson. He's the king of updating shit constantly. Like just keeping his foot on the gas, just keeping his foot, his mental on it. He sits behind 6 screens.
Oh, so I mean, you're familiar with black box trading, right? From back in the day. It's like folks were like, how do we know that, it won't break? Because I'm like, somebody that codes it properly, the purpose of the AI engine is to actually identify market changes and then apply the correct trading strategy to it, which black box was like, it's just fixed strategies. So they were always going to break because market conditions change.
Right. Well, I think it's been a very great conversation. A lot of deep insight into what you guys are doing.
One last point that I would like to touch upon in the end. I know that you complain a lot about 15, 30-second introduction to investors.
Time to work on it.
Let's do a 3-minute. Let's do a brief 3-minute. Let's
overview of exactly who you guys are, what you're bringing to the market,
and why investors should be interested. Because we're going to cut it into the shorts. We're going to present it to several people. You have 3 minutes. Sell it to the investors. You sold me and Ziggy already. Sell it to the brother.
I represent BlockQuake, which our flagship product is a global centralized crypto exchange, and I know that I will be able to say it will be the safest, most robust crypto exchange out there that addresses all the transparency, ownership concerns, and we're gonna have all the liquidity you need. We're gonna be able to prove we're the safest. So you're gonna come trade on us, and then we're launching AI trading tools to help you trade better, smarter, and then getting into the derivatives and margin space after that. So just building out a whole ecosystem of just very transparent, compliant products and services that people are still looking for. All of us know folks that are at the institutional level in this space, and they've got to pull their crypto into their own personal wallets because they just can't trust what's out there right now. We have these conversations all the time, so we're bringing trust to the space that is going to actually help the crypto markets grow further, both in centralized and decentralized spaces. So we're all here to help each other grow the space.
So you guys are catered to the investor, retail, institutional, doesn't matter. You're catered to.
Yeah.
I think a nice little
customer
one-liner.
protection.
Nice little one-liner is being able to say something like the BlockQuake exchange will be the world's safest, most secure, most transparent exchange on the market.
Yeah.
Way ahead of the curve, way ahead of legislation.
And me coming from an audit and risk management perspective, like I'll actually be able to legally say that. Yeah. We'll be able to prove it.
There you go.
It was a great conversation. Thank you very much. Thank you for sharing insights. A lot of food for thought, a lot of potential collaboration that we could do together.
Yeah.
Hopefully in 2 weeks we'll meet again
Yes,
here at the Miami Art Basel event.
Yes.
And we'll continue conversation and report on some progress.
Yeah,
There we go.
absolutely. Appreciate
Cheers.
it. Thank you, both of you.
Thank you guys for having us.
Thank you.